Good evening if you're in Pacific time and you're watching this in the evening. This is another episode of the LRD podcast. Yes, another episode. And today I'm going to review Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Why the sequel? Why don't I just play the first game and then review the second game right after? Well, I mainly don't have the first game, and I bought the second game, and in a sale, not physically, but digitally, in the Xbox Marketplace, and it was only for $10, so why not? I got it. So I'm gonna jump into positives first, and I'm gonna go to negatives, because this game has quite a bit of negatives on its side. Okay. So, the story. Faith gets out of jail in the because in the first game she gets into jail at the end, then gets out and joins the runners once again. Now, I don't want to go into story for the positives. I'm going to go into stories in the negatives, because this game has quite a bit of negatives on its side. So, I'll just get into the gameplay and mechanics, because I really think that's where the game shines. The parkour system is wonderfully recreated. So, does this game evolve from the first game? I wouldn't know, because I didn't play the first game. But I did see a couple of reviews, gameplay. I think, but for a person who just jumped into the Mirror's Edge game, I think the parkour system takes a while to get hang of, because I certainly had difficulty from beginning to end, but mostly in the beginning. Let's see, the parkour, if you're playing with an Xbox controller, use LB to jump, LT to skill roll, which I thought was actually an ability that you would get in the game once you begin, but no, you have to actually unlock it, which I thought was a pretty just redundant reason, because you're gonna be falling off quite a bit. So if you have motion sickness and you don't get this game, you're gonna definitely get sick from from the motion blur in the game. I don't like that this game has motion blur. I did not check if you can turn it off, because I just thought of it right now. Well, this game is the parkour system is really realistic. I never done parkour, but I did do the jump to one step to another, and getting that rush of just jumping to the other one, feeling an action. I think when Faith falls off of a building, you actually feel, because she breathes, she moans. That's such. Why'd I fucking laugh? Alright. She moans when she falls off an edge of a building, and well, you can actually feel her breathing, because the controller vibrates along when she falls, and it increases. I think it really. Well, I mean, if you're playing it on the controller, that is. I don't really like playing. I wouldn't never play this game on a keyboard, honestly. But different people have different preference. So this game also has, when you're this game has fast travel. I like that. This map is definitely bigger than the last, because I mean, it moved to the next gen. It uses the Frostbite 3 engine. I never had a problem with the Frostbite engine, honestly, because I just got into, because I mean, the first Frostbite game I ever played was, well, not with the engine, was Battlefront 1, and then this game, nothing else, honestly. Not even a Far Cry game. I think Far Cry, what's it called, Blood Dragon, maybe, but the game doesn't run well on Windows 10. I can never get the full experience because it crashes. Well, crashes. I should talk about this game and when it crashes. right before right before this review, this game is it crashed on me for the first time. I think I don't know why, but it crashed by itself. But it's no biggie. I can get in because the checkpoints are really just great, and the game remembers where you left off, and so you can collect more of those grid leaks, which side objectives, nothing too special. So this game is pretty short, but I did buy it for $10, so I guess I got my money's worth. I got more bang for my buck, but paying for this game for $60, I don't think it's worth it. And good thing I pre-ordered it, but didn't actually buy it. It's man, that I would have gotten my money robbed right there. Positives. I think that's it for positives. Nothing too special. I think I gotta jump into negatives. The Juro break, a little bit of break, so you can get a little bit of that sip of water. And then I come back, and, that's... Oh, so this game, I did not know this game had music. The music is not very present in the game. All you hear is silence and the steps of running. Then, when you're in combat, you hear her Fate's fists, whatever. Let me go into break, and I'll talk more about the combat, because it's also going to be in the negatives. So getting into the negatives of Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Well, there's quite a bit of negatives with the game. Let me get into the story actually. So, like I said, Faith gets out of jail and joins the Runners again. And then I'm not gonna spoil everything. I'm just gonna I'm not gonna spoil it actually, because this game is fairly still new. I mean, it did come out a while ago, but hey, I don't want to. There's still some people that might want to play it, but I think so. Faith goes back to the Runners, and then there's an organization. Think of it as like they're basically the police, but they're corrupted because it's company owned. They're called KSEC, and that's what the whole story revolves around. By stopping them, so Faith and her group try to fend them off. Then something happens to the group, which splits Faith off to another organization that still wants to stop KSEC, but just to have different rules. And then they do some odd missions. They weren't interesting, and I didn't really enjoy them, honestly. And mostly things that progress into the story are just really predictable. I didn't really enjoy them. If you're coming into this game looking for a good story for the continuation, from the first one, they're gonna be disappointed. Honestly, if you just get into this game, just go into the. You can go into the first one or second one, but the only selling point to this game, and the only reason I actually progressed through the game was because of that damn parkour system, and it's really fucking good. It's amazing. It's pretty real. It's like a realistic platformer. Oh, combat. Yeah. Combat's pretty good if you're on the move, which you're supposed to. The game encourages that you're on the move. But there's always these sections in the game, and also these enemies where you have to stop in place to fight these guys. And if you don't have the right upgrades, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Like I did. There was a mission where you have to be there's these enemies that have like this sonic boom thing where it's like sound waves. Think of it like the TAC-19 from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And they just if you're not careful, they can shoot you, and it's a annoying. But the mission makes it hard because you have some guys shooting at you, and you're on a really small space. So running is a hard option to do. So they bring out two of those guys. Okay, you beat them while avoiding the shots from the soldiers carrying guns. Well, then there's another enemy type that if he blocks, he's dressed all in black, and if he blocks any of your attacks, you're gonna take 1 hit point away from you. Oh my goodness! If you don't have the upgrade where if you dodge and you can push them back and then you can do a few punches, if you don't have that upgrade, you're gonna fail a lot in that one section. It took me an entire day to do. I really didn't enjoy it, and I stopped playing the game after a while just because of that one section. Yeah, so combat's only good if you're on the move, but if you're gonna stand in place, they should have fixed it. Honestly, they should have worked on it a little bit more, make it more immersive, and make it just work with the style of the game. Side missions. Side missions were pretty good, but there's some where, but they're just repetitive. There's things called grid leaks, and that's one. They're like little collectibles. They could be in plain sight, or they can be pretty hidden. They're like the moons from Super Mario Odyssey, where they just you don't need them to progress, but they're just fun little collectibles. Which I did it today and all morning because I don't know, it's just fun. And I was listening to the Pizza Party podcast by Rebel Taxi. It was really nice, but all of there's a character named Plastic, and she gives you these side missions where that's all you have to collect. Just there's these red grid leaks instead of the yellow ones that you collect, and you have to find a way to collect them. I did like that you have to find your own way of collecting them under a time limit. I really enjoy that. It gives you a little bit of freedom, but what I don't like is that for every single side mission, that's basically what it is. It's just annoying. Like in Super Mario 3D Land, where you had to play every single level with Mario and Luigi. It's repetitive and annoying. Other missions, such as Diversion, I really don't like them. You have no idea where to go, and if you don't turn on runner's vision, which is basically it's like a waypoint. It tells you where to go. I like it, but it doesn't really tell you a faster path. Rather than it just gives you the slower path. Mainly, I find faster paths on accident. If you again don't have the right upgrades, you're not gonna be passing this run with the time limit that it gives you, which is pretty short. So in Diversion, you're supposed to. A guy tells you, "Hey, diverse this group of K-Sec soldiers," and while I do some other shit that takes me forever to do. Okay, so you run into K-Sec, you get a little bit more time after each group you meet. But at the end, after you go to the final one, you have seconds to be at a specific spot, or else you're gonna get your ass sent to the beginning. And that's when I just stopped doing diversions completely. But it can get really annoying. It's just not fun. I don't recommend that you do those unless you want to get 100% in this game. I have not completed this game 100%. I don't think I will ever do that. No, I would never do that. So why should you buy Mirror's Edge Catalyst? Buy this game only if it's on a discount. I recommend $20 or $10. That's the main driving point or selling point of this game is the parkour. If you're not buying it for the parkour, don't buy it at all. If you like a good sense of exploration, you might find it. I don't know. There's some. I guess if you don't want to use the map, but you're gonna but this map's pretty big, so I think you're gonna want. I don't think exploration isn't very fond of it, and you also have sometimes those annoying K-Secs that roam around random areas, and if they see you, you have to run to the safe house. If you don't get to the safe house, um, the more of them are gonna come towards you, and it's really annoying when you're collecting grid leaks. There's no way of avoiding them unless you're sneaky. But this game doesn't encourage stealth; it encourages action. Okay, I think this game is just okay in my book. Nothing too perfect. It's enjoyable if just for the parkour. I think I repeated myself a couple of times. I think that has to be the shortest LRD talk I've done, but this game is really short as well. I think my Super Mario 3D Land was longer than this. Oh well, I guess. I will see you in the next episode of the LRD Talk. I don't know if it's next week, this week. I got school starting on Wednesday, luckily. Not luckily. But next week I get to go on I go to the theaters with the female, a companion. We're gonna watch Insidious. I'll see if I'll do a review on Insidious. I think it's called the final chapter, last chapter. I have no idea. I'll get back to that. I will see you all later. Next LRD Talk. This has been Angel. I will see you all later. Or some shit like that.